Good morning, EDSC 404 Pedagogy 2 students. It's me, Mr. Garten here, your instructor. Now, in this video, I want to, one, talk about the difference between Pedagogy 1 and Pedagogy 2 a little bit, and then two, give you the information about our field trip. We are doing another field trip like we did last semester. This time it'll be at Sparks High School, and really stress filming out those forms. Then I'm going to hop the video over to Canvas and give you a rundown of the work you need to do in the first 2 weeks because I will not be there this week, and then next week I will see you at the field trip. So that's a little crazy because we're not going to be on campus. We're going to be at the field trip location. So let's start with the difference between Pedagogy 1 and Pedagogy 2. Pedagogy 1 really introduces you guys to the art of teaching. It goes over lesson alignment and really gets you looking at the standards and thinking beyond like, what do I want to do in the class to what do I have to do and how do I begin to engage students. Pedagogy 2 is all about the granular nature of teaching. We see teaching as that very superficial. The outside world sees teaching as that very superficial. We plan the lesson, we teach the lesson, it's really easy. However, there is a very granular layer to teaching where we actually are assessing independently our students, and that informs the decisions on what we teach and how we teach it. So we're going to be getting into data-based instruction, data-driven instruction, skills-based instruction, and kind of the nitty-gritties of teaching. Also the difference, Pedagogy 1, your practicum was in the middle school level. Pedagogy 2, your practicum is at the high school level. So you will all be in high school placements. Let's go ahead and talk about this field trip. Now, the field trip is tricky this year because there's a holiday. We do not have school on Monday. So I'm sorry, Monday, 8 a.m. group. I'm going to invite you to the Wednesday 8 a.m. field trip. Otherwise, you're just going to have to do a makeup. I'll probably film a video for you to watch and write a little reflection on. If you can make it, Wednesday, 8 o'clock is our field trip at Sparks High School. We will meet at Sparks High School, which is 820 15th Street, Sparks, Nevada, 89431. And you should be there 15 or 10 minutes before that 8 a.m. Bell in the lobby. Please have an ID or a Washoe County School ID if applicable. Also, you're going to need to dress professionally. Treat this as a job interview. How would you go in for your first teaching job interview? People in the teaching world watch and comment. 94% of you go off to teach in Washoe County School District. That's, I think, the last statistic I saw. So you consider this starting your first job interview. You will be scored on professionalism. That's how you're going to get your points for attending the field trip or part of them. And your overall professional demeanor. Have something to write with as well to take notes. You're going to want to take some notes for a future assignment. Transportation is not provided, so please work out a carpool situation. A lot of you learned each other and know each other and are able to kind of help each other out there. Please have the release forms filled out. We'll get to that at the end of the presentation, but just like last year, you have to refill out those forms. Let's go ahead and look at Sparks High School. Here's the map of Sparks High School. That big set of buildings there in the image. It's kind of E-shaped with a bunch of stuff on top of it. Now, the lobby's in the front of the school on 15th Street. The problem is there's no parking on 15th Street. There's this very tempting parking lot, this little parking lot right next to the lobby. However, there's only like 2 or 3 spaces in there for visitors. Your best bet is to park in the back parking lot on G Street in any of the unmarked parking spots and then walk yourself around to the front lobby of the school where you can then go into the main office and check in. Please do not enter the school in any other location besides the front entrance and lobby. In order to participate in the field trip, you are going to need forms. You have to fill out those UNR release forms. Here is a QR code and the link to it. I've actually, just to make it easy for all of us, don't worry about clicking it now. In the week 1-2 module, you're going to see a link where you're going to be able to go in and fill these forms out as an assignment. Go ahead and click in and do it there. Let's go ahead and jump over to Canvas. All right, so we are right on to your Canvas page. So just like last semester, it's the same sort of design. I created this home page. Here's our pedagogically sound playlist we are going to add to that this semester. Again, it's just a nice way for me to get to know you. It's something I do. You guys can listen to it here because I put it on our Canvas page. But this is again that information from the PowerPoint slide as the header here. You can see what I'm listening to, what I'm reading, and what I'm watching. What are we working on? What do I need to know? Practicum information and comment box. So the comment box might not be set up yet. It's just a Google form that allows you to drop a comment. I may have fixed it. But these buttons make your life easier once we get deep into the semester so you don't have to scroll all the way through the module page. So let's go ahead and start with practicum information. So if I click on that, it's going to take me right here to this module that has our practicum information. Already there's the practicum manual, the copy of a letter you could give to your teacher, the practicum log, what the formal observation will look like, and I've linked the lead teacher eval, what they will fill out on Google Forms for you. We'll jump up to what I need to know. This is kind of just general class information, syllabus information. So if I click there, it's going to take us to these class resources. Here's the syllabus. Here's the Danielson rubric, which I use the book list for your book evaluation. Here's the book review rubric. Here's the teacher toolkit part 2, basically your final. You can see what we're going to add to it if you want to dig into that early. And then the discussion rubric. So these are all tools for you to use throughout the semester. We're going to do this kind of data-driven unit, which is what you're going to add into your toolkit too. Let's go ahead and pop into our syllabus. So again, the information I do need to fix. This is Wednesday, not Tuesday. Wednesday, not Tuesday. I don't know why I said in my head Wednesday or a Tuesday, but it's Wednesday. Here's information on how to get a hold of me, basic course description. Here's your textbook. It's all on embedded formative assessment, class procedures, your practicum. Big thing to note about your practicum, as usual, it is pass-fail. You have to hit that 45 hours or I have to fail you for the whole course. Now, I've streamlined the work. I'm in this process of streamlining your work. You're going to have the scenario paper, and that's graded in each of the domains. You will receive a domain grade for each except for professionalism. You will have a data-driven unit. There will be scores in each part of the data-driven unit for domain 1, 2, and 3. Your self-guided tech lesson will be scored on each domain, and the toolkit will be scored on each domain. Why? This is how your evaluation is going to work. You are graded holistically on who you are as a teacher. So I wanted to start doing that this semester. These assignments you turn in have point values based on that Danielson rubric. Basically, for every assignment, I'm going to use the Danielson rubric to grade you, and you're going to get points in each category for those domains based on what is present in that particular lesson. Now, for certain assignments, I might black out certain standards or whatever, but just know I'm going to be grading you off of that Danielson rubric. Here's the basic point breakdown. Now, professionalism, you're going to have attendance points for each class period based on assignments. Field trip professionalism check is 100 points. Book report is 100 points. That is like a double grade moment because the book report is also a part of your toolkit. It needs to go in your toolkit as well. Now, your practicum has a lot of points. Your 45 hours, your observation, your lesson 1, your video observation. And what I mean by lesson 1 paper, it's not an essay about it. I just meant the paper copy. That was another my bad. Sorry. Your midpoint evaluation, the lesson 2 you have to do, your final evaluation, and your formal observation. And these are the point breakdowns from there. So your practicum observations are about 100 points each, and I believe we have 5 this semester. Again, here's the Danielson rubric and kind of that point breakdown. So that's the big things I want to point out. Here's the schedule, and we'll talk really quick first week since I'm not here. What I really need you to get done this week is your pre-assessment scenario. That's a baseline assessment. It's an essay that I'm going to have you write as a baseline to see where you're at as a teacher, and then we're going to rewrite that essay later in the semester. Your Flipgrid introduction. You're going to introduce yourself on Flipgrid. You'll go ahead and sign up for that, and then the release forms need to get done. There's also Sparks High School Improvement Plan data I need you to look at for the field trip and read this first article. Now, there's a second article next week that you can get started on as well as knowing that Sparks High School Improvement Plan data. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to jump over to our module this week so you can get a sense of what needs to be done. So here's week 1, 2, practicum forms. This is an assignment that's due ASAP. So if I click into this, you'll click there. It'll take you to the link. Fill out those forms. Fill out those forms for your assignment. That's the forms to let you do your practicum, to let you do the field trip. Here's your baseline assessment, knowledge of student paper. Here's the prompt. It's based on the scenario. So you're going to read this scenario, and then I'm going to ask you to kind of critique it in this prompt, and based on what you know as a teacher so far, what would you do differently? Modules. Then your pre-service inventory. This is a link to that Google form. You're going to take the pre-service inventory again. My goal is to make you do that 4 times between last class and this class. So I have data to see how you're growing and what information I need to add to the program. Also, I can use this as evidence when I present to the whole department and try and get some changes that I think would be good for the program overall. Flipgrid, here's your Flipgrid task. You're going to sign up for Flipgrid first by clicking on this link, then come back here, click on the assignment, introduce yourself. You do need to respond to at least 3 of your peers by 9-3. 3 peers by 9-3. Then what's left is your compare and contrast of Piaget and your Piaget and Vygotsky article for week 2, and then the Sparks High School data will be in here as well. So that's kind of your first week. You're going to fill out those forms. Diana's running class first day from the advisement center to kind of talk to you guys about internship and all of that great thing. But you're going to need to fill out your practicum forms. You're going to need to do that Flipgrid, the inventory, and the baseline assessment. That's kind of what I want to really see done in this first 2 weeks. Week 2, just have those things read, because they're going to help inform this essay as well as be ready for the field trip. Remember, if you can't make the field trip, that's okay. We will have an alternative assignment to get those points, so do not panic. I unfortunately am also going to be without or intermittent texting, so go ahead and email me or ask me questions, but it may be until Labor Day Monday that I am actually able to return any of those emails or questions. It's okay, relax, don't panic, we're going to be fine. I can't wait to see you guys. I hope you had an amazing summer, and enjoy the start of your school year. You're almost there. I'm so excited for you. I love this semester. I love watching you guys grow as educators, so I can't wait. Have a great first week, and I will see you soon.